Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. B&B spoilers. Sheila found by Deacon starving, shackled and near death. Sugar dead, Sheila captive. The bold and the beautiful B&B spoilers reveal that Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, and John Finnegan, Tanner Novlan, are searching for the truth about Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown. Deacon and Finn start questioning people, including Tom Clint Howard. In a preview clip, the homeless man's eyes get really wide, so Tom must recognize Sheila's picture. What did Sugar do with Sheila, and what is the outcome? B&B spoilers reveal that Deacon insists that Sheila wasn't the woman in the crematory. However, when Deacon began talking about 10 toes, everyone assumed he was going crazy with grief. After seeing threatening messages from Sugar to Sheila, Deacon started realizing that he was onto something. Later, Deacon learned about Sugar, whose real name is Janet Weber, from Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, Tracy E. Bregman. Finally, Deacon was able to get through to Finn, so Finn will join Deacon on the search for Sheila. Deacon feels like Sheila is really in trouble. Since Deacon and Sheila do have a bond, he's likely right. During the investigation, Deacon and Finn encounter a homeless man named Tom. Deacon shows Tom a photo of Sheila on his phone. Suddenly, Tom's eyes get really wide, as if he does recognize the woman in the photo. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Deacon and Finn will eventually find Sheila. It might not happen for a few weeks though. What good is a soapy mystery if it's resolved right away? So, when Deacon and Finn find Sheila, could she be shackled and near death? Is it possible that Sugar got out of prison, kidnapped Sheila, and stashed her away? Sugar's plan might have been to kill Steffi and frame Sheila for the crime. Sugar didn't plan on Steffi defending herself. Meanwhile, Sugar never came back for Sheila, so by the time that Deacon and Finn find Sheila, she could starving and near death. If Sheila is saved, Finn will likely take care of her. This could ruin Finn's relationship with Steffi though. It could also damage Finn's dynamic with his adoptive mother, Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda. At the same time, Sheila makes soaps so good. There just isn't any real excitement when Sheila's not around, so here's hoping to her survival. Do you think Sheila was kidnapped by Sugar? Is Sheila in danger and could her rescue change everything? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. In the quiet, quaint town of Fairview, nestled amid rolling hills and whispering forests, a small bed and breakfast stood as a beacon of warmth and hospitality. The Fairview Inn, with its cozy rooms and inviting atmosphere, was a haven for travelers seeking respite from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. But behind its charming facade lay a tale of darkness and despair, a story that would unravel in the most unexpected of ways. Sheila Carter, once a notorious figure in the town, had vanished without a trace years ago, leaving behind a trail of heartache and misery. Many had assumed she had met her end, her name relegated to whispers and faded memories. But fate had other plans, as it often does. Deacon Sharp, a rugged man with a troubled past of his own, stumbled upon Sheila in the most unlikely of places. Deep in the heart of the forest, hidden away from prying eyes, he found her shackled and near death. A mere shell of the woman she once was. Her once vibrant eyes were sunken and hollow, her skin pallid and drawn tight against her bones. It was a sight that shook Deacon to his core, stirring something within him that he thought long buried. Despite the danger, despite the risk to himself, he knew he couldn't leave her there to perish alone. With trembling hands, he broke the chains that bound her, lifting her frail form into his arms and carrying her back to the safety of his cabin. For days, Deacon nursed Sheila back to health, his rough hands gentle as he tended to her wounds and offered her what little comfort he could provide. It was a slow and arduous process, each passing moment a battle against the specter of death that loomed over them both. But through it all, Deacon refused to give up hope, his determination unwavering in the face of adversity. As Sheila's strength began to return, so too did the memories of her captivity. She spoke of a shadowy figure, a man consumed by hatred and driven by vengeance, who had taken her captive and subjected her to unspeakable horrors. His name was Sugar, a name that sent shivers down Deacon's spine as he listened to Sheila's harrowing tale. But even as they struggled to come to terms with the trauma of her ordeal, danger lurked just beyond the safety of their sanctuary. For Sugar, consumed by madness and fueled by a thirst for revenge, would stop at nothing to reclaim what he believed was rightfully his. And as the days stretched into weeks, his presence loomed ever closer, a dark cloud on the horizon threatening to engulf them both. It was a race against time, a battle of wills that would test the limits of their strength and resilience. But amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a bond began to form between Deacon and Sheila, forged in the crucible of their shared suffering. They found solace in each other's presence, drawing strength from the unspoken connection that bound them together. And as they stood on the precipice of oblivion, facing down the darkness that threatened to consume them, they knew that they were not alone, for in each other they had found a glimmer of hope, a beacon of light in the darkest of nights. And though the road ahead was fraught with peril, they faced it together, united in their determination to survive against all odds. In the end, it was love that triumphed over hate, compassion that conquered cruelty. And as the sun set on the horizon, casting its golden rays across the landscape, Deacon and Sheila emerged from the shadows, their spirits unbroken and their hearts full of hope. For in the end, it was not the darkness that defined them, but the light that shone from within, illuminating their path to a brighter tomorrow. In the quaint town of Genoa City, where secrets whispered through the wind and scandals brewed like storm clouds on the horizon, the residents were about to witness a twist that would shake the very foundations of their lives. In the heart of this tumultuous drama were two names synonymous with chaos, Sheila Carter and Deacon Sharp. The morning sun cast its golden rays over the sleepy town, painting the world in hues of amber and tangerine, but amidst this picturesque scene, a dark shadow loomed. Sheila Carter, a woman known for her cunning and manipulative ways, had disappeared without a trace. Whispers of her whereabouts circulated like wildfire, igniting fear and suspicion in the hearts of those who knew her best. Meanwhile, Deacon Sharp, a man with a troubled past and a penchant for trouble, found himself drawn into a web of deceit and danger. Little did he know that fate had a cruel twist in store for him, one that would test his limits and push him to the brink of despair. It began on a cold and dreary night, the kind that sent shivers down your spine and made you question the very fabric of reality. Deacon, haunted by his demons and plagued by guilt, wandered the streets in search of solace, but instead of finding redemption, he stumbled upon a sight that would forever change his destiny. There, hidden away in a dilapidated shack on the outskirts of town, lay Sheila Carter, starved, shackled, and near death. Her once vibrant eyes were hollow and empty, reflecting the pain and suffering she had endured. Deacon couldn't believe his eyes as he approached her, his heart pounding with a mixture of dread and disbelief. "Sheila," he whispered, his voice barely audible above the howling wind, but there was no response, only the faint sound of labored breathing echoing through the desolate room. Without hesitation, Deacon rushed to her side, his hands trembling as he worked to free her from her chains. As he struggled to break the locks that held her captive, memories of their tumultuous past flooded his mind. Sheila had been a force to be reckoned with, a woman capable of both love and betrayal in equal measure. And yet, despite everything, there was a part of him that still cared for her, that couldn't bear to see her suffer. Finally, with a triumphant click, the chains fell away, and Sheila collapsed into Deacon's arms, her frail body racked with sobs. He held her close, whispering words of comfort and reassurance as he vowed to never let her go again. But their moment of reunion was short-lived, for lurking in the shadows was a figure from their past, Sugar, a notorious criminal with a score to settle. As Deacon and Sheila struggled to escape, Sugar unleashed a fury of violence upon them, his eyes burning with righteous anger. In a desperate bid for survival, Deacon fought back with all his strength, his fists flying as he defended Sheila with his life. But Sugar was relentless, his blows raining down upon them like thunderbolts from the heavens. Just when all hope seemed lost, reinforcements arrived in the form of unexpected allies, the residents of Genoa City, united in their determination to put an end to Sugar's reign of terror once and for all. Together, they waged war against their common enemy, their spirits undaunted by the odds stacked against them. In the end, it was Sheila who delivered the final blow, her courage and cunning proving to be their greatest weapon. With Sugar defeated and justice served, She and Deacon stood side by side, their bond stronger than ever before. As the sun rose over the horizon, casting its warm embrace upon the town of Genoa City, a new chapter began, one filled with hope, redemption, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. And though their journey had been fraught with peril and uncertainty, Sheila and Deacon knew that as long as they had each other, they could overcome anything that stood in their way.